Project-Based Voucher Assistance Program Briefing for the Dakota County CDA. Program Information. A component of the Housing Choice Voucher Program, project-based assistance provides subsidy to individuals or families residing in specific housing units contracted with the CDA. Under the Project-Based Voucher Program, the CDA enters into an assistance contract with the owner for specified units and for a specified term. The CDA refers families from its waiting list to the project owner to fill vacancies. Because the assistance is tied to the unit, a family who moves from the project-based unit does not have any right to continued housing assistance. You must reside in your project-based assisted unit for a minimum of 12 months. If you request to move after the initial 12 months, the CDA will issue a Housing Choice Voucher if one is available. Bedroom size. Participants residing in a project-based unit must always have the correct family composition to remain eligible for their PBV unit. At each recertification, the CDA will review your household composition to ensure you are residing in the correct size unit. If your family composition changes, it could make you ineligible for your unit. If a larger PBV unit is not available, you would be issued a Housing Choice Voucher to move. For example, at initial lease-up, family composition was mom and daughter who is 9 years old, living at Hidden Ponds in a 2-bedroom unit. At annual recertification 2 years later, family composition now includes mom, daughter who is 11 years old, and a son who is a newborn. The family would now qualify for a 3-bedroom unit. They would be transferred to a 3-bedroom unit at a vacant PBV unit or issued a Housing Choice Voucher. Rent calculations. All participants with project-based assistance will pay 30% of their gross income towards rent and utilities. The CDA will determine 30% of your income based on your full application and verifications obtained to determine your eligibility for the PBV program. The CDA does not assist with security deposits. Verifications of income. If you own your own business or are self-employed, we will use your taxes to determine your rent portion. If you are a seasonal employee, we will look at the wages you earn, along with any unemployment benefits you receive throughout the year. For example, if you work for the school district and work September through June, your 10 months of employment will be averaged over 12 months. Your rent will not be zero for July and August if you do not have income. Your rent portion will be the same all year. You will need to budget for the months that you do not have income. If you receive MFIP or unemployment benefits for the months you are not working, we would use 10 months of wages and 2 months of MFIP or unemployment in your calculation to determine your rent portion. Enterprise Income Verification. The CDA has access to a system called EIV, made accessible by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. The CDA is mandated to use this system to verify income information for all participants on the HCV program. The system provides new hire reports from employers, wages reported from employers to the IRS, unemployment benefits paid, and Social Security benefits paid. Make sure that you are reporting all income information to the CDA for all household members in the assisted unit to avoid program termination or an overpayment. Reporting changes. Use a change report form. This connects info to the correct file and helps us respond to your request in a timely manner. This can be obtained by calling your housing specialist, visiting the CDA office, or accessing the website. Family responsibility. Any family participating in the project-based voucher program of the CDA must follow the rules listed below in order to continue receiving housing assistance under the program. Any information the family supplies must be true and complete. Each family member must supply any information that the CDA or HUD determines to be necessary for administration of the program, including submission of required evidence of citizenship or eligible immigration status. Supply any information requested by the CDA for use in a regularly scheduled reexamination or interim reexamination of family income and composition. All changes in income and family composition must be reported in writing within 30 days of the change. If you do not report changes timely, you may be required to pay back money to the CDA. Disclose and verify Social Security numbers and sign and submit consent forms for obtaining information. Supply any information requested by the CDA to verify that the family is living in the unit or information related to family absence from the unit. Promptly notify the PHA in writing when the family is away from the unit for an extended period of time in accordance with PHA policies. Prior approval is required when a family member or the entire family will be absent from the unit for a period greater than 30 calendar days. A written request should be submitted to the CDA at a minimum of 30 days prior to the absence when absence is planned. Allow the PHA to inspect the unit at reasonable times and after reasonable notice. Notify the PHA and the owner in writing before moving out of the unit or terminating the lease. The CDA requires a 60 plus 1 day written notice. Use the assisted unit for residence by eligible family members. The unit must be the family's only residence. Promptly notify the PHA in writing of the birth, adoption, or court-awarded custody of a child. All changes must be reported in writing within 30 days. Request PHA written approval to add any other family member as an occupant of the unit. The CDA must approve additions to your household. You must request in writing to add members to your household. Do not move anyone in with you unless they are authorized by the CDA. Give the CDA prior written notice if you will have a guest for more than 15 days in any 12-month period. Promptly notify the PHA in writing if any family member no longer lives in the unit. Give the PHA a copy of any owner eviction notice. Pay utility bills and provide and maintain any appliances that the owner is not required to provide under the lease. The family, including each family member, must not own or have any interest in the unit, commit any serious or repeated violation of the lease, commit fraud, bribery, or any other corrupt or criminal act in connection with the program, engage in drug-related criminal activity or violent criminal activity or other criminal activity that threatens the health, safety, or right to peaceful enjoyment of other residents and persons residing in the immediate vicinity of the premises. Sublease or let the unit, or assign the lease or transfer the unit. Receive project-based voucher assistance while receiving another housing subsidy for the same unit or a different unit under any other federal, state, or local housing assistance program. Damage the unit or premises other than damage from ordinary wear and tear, or permit any guest to damage the unit or premises. Receive project-based voucher assistance while residing in a unit owned by a parent, child, grandparent, grandchild, sister, or brother of any family member unless the PHA has determined and has notified the owner and the family of such determination that approving rental of the unit, notwithstanding such relationship, would provide reasonable accommodation for a family member who is a person with disabilities. Engage in abuse of alcohol in a way that threatens the health, safety, or right to peaceful enjoyment of the other residents and persons residing in the immediate vicinity of the premises. The CDA may terminate housing assistance for any grounds authorized in accordance with HUD requirements, including family violation of any obligation under Section 6 of this Statement of Family Responsibility. Evictions for lease violations will cause you to lose your project-based assistance. Housing Quality Standards Inspection. If the unit is vacant prior to your move-in, the inspector will attempt to conduct the inspection with the property owner. Check with your property manager to find out if they will be arranging a date with the inspector. If the unit is not ready prior to move-in, the inspector will conduct an initial inspection on the first business day of the month between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Our inspectors will not make an appointment with you. It is your responsibility to make sure that the inspector has access to your unit. You can do one of the following: be at the unit to let the inspector in, or have another adult, someone over the age of 18, present to let the inspector in. You are required to have someone present in the unit on the first business day of the month to let the inspector in. We cannot inspect the unit until the previous tenant has moved out of the property. Tenant's responsibilities with the inspection process. The inspector will attempt to get into your unit 3 times. If you fail to cooperate with the inspection process, your file will be closed and your name will be removed from the waiting list, and you will not be able to move into your project-based assisted unit. If the unit does not pass or is done after the first day of the month, assistance will not begin until the day the inspection is passed or completed. The CDA rent portion will be prorated based on the number of days in the month, for example, 31 in January or 28 in February. If your unit fails, call and remind your landlord to make the necessary repairs to your unit. The CDA will also send the landlord a copy of the failed inspection along with a letter detailing the failed items. Once repairs are complete, call the CDA inspector immediately to set up a reinspection. The inspector will complete a full reinspection. Once the unit passes, the CDA will then make their prorated payment. Failed inspections. Most commonly failed items include missing switch plate or outlet cover, inoperable smoke or carbon monoxide detectors, broken windows, torn or missing screens, burners on kitchen stove not operating. Inspection preparation checklist. Test smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Check that all outlets and switches are tight and there are no cracked or broken plates. Make sure all lights that came with globes have them and there are no open light sockets. Check all window locks, screens, glass, and operation. Run all faucets and check for leaks at faucet and drain piping. Check that the garbage disposal is working. Check that all burners and the oven works, and all knobs and handles are on the stove. Walk the unit and check for tripping hazards like worn or loose carpet and TV cables. Flush the toilets and check that seats are not broken. Check the bathtub for leaking, missing tiles, drainage, and mold. Check exit signs in the building. Verify current tags on extinguishers and test emergency lighting. Check the site and common areas for debris and condition of any outbuildings. Fair housing. Protected classes: race, age, marital status, gender, disability, religion, sexual orientation, and public assistance status. Property managers cannot deny housing based on the above classes. If you feel you have been discriminated against, file a fair housing complaint by visiting HUD's Office of Fair Housing and Equal Opportunity website at the address listed below. Contacting the CDA. Your PBV housing specialist is Jean Johnson. Her phone number is 651-675-4541. This concludes the briefing on the Dakota County CDA's project-based voucher assistance program. Thank you.